Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming back to Living to Do's review of Married at First Sight, the review of season 14, episode 1. It was called Bliss, Brunches, and Brawls. Oh my. Oh my is right. This episode was interesting. It was entertaining. Uh, Things that happened I didn't expect. So let's get started. And before I do, I would like to ask if you would subscribe and like and share this video. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. Okay, let's start off with the review with Noy and Steve. They wake up in the morning after their honeymoon. They're both really comfortable with one another. They're going to meet each other's family. Uh, Noy meets with his parents. His parents basically told her that Steve was a vagabond and he likes to travel. So I was wondering, do they even offer prenups with married at first sight couples? I mean, that's something that happens in the real world. And this guy doesn't have a job. He can get on this show, get a wife who definitely makes more money than him, divorces her, and could she possibly be obligated to pay alimony? And that's just a big setup. I don't know, but he's a good guy, but you just don't know anybody actually. He could be married to someone for years, and he may plan to never get a job. In fact, um, he even said that to her at one point, if and where he may commit to a full-time job. If I don't know, that's telling. Do you plan not to get a full-time job or bring in consistent income to the household? Um, Steve met with Noy's family, and he met with uh, Sriracha, I think her name was. That was Noy's brother, Michael, but he's a cross-dresser, or he's a drag queen, I think they said, and that is his alter ego. And Steve seemed real comfortable with that. He rolled with the punches like it was normal. I mean, like it was every day or whatever. Um, they asked him about kids. He said he's in no rush. They asked him about him being a freelancer and his having financial responsibility, especially if there's kids involved. And that's something Steve's going to have to think about, because I'm not sure if Steve is a nomad or not, but if so, he should have matched him with somebody who lives that type of lifestyle. Um, he also wanted to, after they got to their honeymoon, and this year their honeymoon is in Puerto Rico, which is a territory of the United States. So you're still in the U.S. You don't need a passport to travel. But, it's nice and tropical. I guess with the current situations, I don't know, maybe they can't go far. Um, but I think it's still better than last year's Florida Keys situation. And in this honeymoon, Steve wants to do adventures like parasailing and zip lining. And we find out Noy she's afraid of heights. So I don't know if she's going to be going on these activities with with Steve, her husband. The next couple we'll talk about is Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina and Michael, they go to bed on their first night together. She's in a head wrap. Um, Not very appealing, I guess, for your wedding night, but not much happened anyway. They just talked and cuddled, so they said. She learned her new name. We see Ms. Morency. Jasmina Morency. I like it. It's really cute. It's pretty, actually. Um, Michael met with her family. Um, they discussed relationships, that his parents were never together. So I don't know if his parents, with all those kids, did they have different dads, or did he have a different dad? So he never really seen a committed relationship, though he does want one. Um, and Jasmina's mother Kimberly is she's not really sold on him. She's slightly more comfortable with him, but she thinks maybe he might get lost in confusion when he knows what a normal relationship marriage looks like. Uh, Michael knows that he has to win over his new mother-in-law, Kimberly. She's not totally convinced, I think, with him. Um, but they have some growing to do and time to spend together, maybe to feel more comfortable. Um, Michael and Jasmina did have one disagreement. They were talking about boundaries and how people getting to know you. Uh, there might be conflict when you learn people's boundaries. And Jasmina had a different take on that. She thought that she gives people the benefit of the doubt. And I think Jasmina is thinking about something that Michael's sister said about him, that he assumes the worst. Um, Michael later said in the confessional that he's a realist. He knows to expect conflict. Jasmina told Michael that they'll just have to agree to disagree. I didn't think that was the biggest deal. I mean, of course, there's conversations to be had, but I don't think Michael was wrong. I don't. You can expect it in the sense that you know it could happen, but uh, you don't have to be on the defense when talking to somebody when initially uh, when you're just getting to know someone. I don't know. That's an interesting conversation. The next couple we'll talk about is Katina and Elijah. They showed Elijah unzipping Katina's wedding dress, and it was just really weird how that camera lingered on her backside a little bit longer. In fact, it just was. It just lingered a long time on her, I thought, with the slow pull back of it all. It was seeming like it was sensual. I don't know. That cameraman was a little shady there. Um, he carried her to the bed. They made out, you know, so they said that's all they did. Though Katina said that he needs to work on his cuddle game. I guess she doesn't like the way he cuddles. He might get hot. I don't know. The next day they meet with each other's friends or family, and Katina met with Cheryl, uh, Elijah second mom. I don't know how she's his second mom. Uh, Now, Katina asked her if she thought if Elijah was ready to commit to one woman. Now, I don't know if she really answered that question because what we saw, it could have been edited out. It looked like she didn't answer the question. Instead, she said he wants a wife and kids. So I don't know what her answer was, if he was ready to commit to one woman. Is that something they're going to show us later? I don't know. I just thought, why couldn't she answer that question? Now, Olajuwon's meeting with Katina's friends and family, or I think they're friends, and there was a guy there that he met with, a friend of Katina's, Giovanni, and I liked him. He got to the bottom of it. He wanted to know why he joined this or asked to have this process done for him, finding him a wife that he's never known before. I like Giovanni. No, um, Olajuwon said he was doing this process because he wanted to try something new. Giovanni doesn't think that he's taking it seriously. He's not serious about this, marrying somebody that you've never seen before. He thinks he's doing it for a come up. He's just trying to blow up. Um, I think Giovanni might be onto something. He smells something. He smells a rat, and he's not afraid to confront him face to face. And I like how he confronted him. Everybody needs somebody like Giovanni in their life. Um, to speak up for them, to look after them, to someone know, let others know that the person, there's a person that's being who's loved and being watched, and you just can't do whatever you want. I like him. I would like someone like that in my life too. She's lucky to have somebody like that. Um, Later on their first night at their honeymoon, they go to bed, they're snuggling and they're talking, and Katina mentioned that she's scared to be vulnerable, that she's afraid to be disappointed. She's on guard, and Olajuwon wanted to reassure her that um, that he cherishes her. I hope he's not all talk, that he truly does cherish her. We'll have to see. It's still new. Um, the next couple that we'll talk about will be Lindsay and what's his name? Mark. Uh, Lindsay and Mark. They talk a bit about Lindsay's mother and their relationship. She explains to Mark that it's not good. She did receive a bad email, or got a bad email from her mother, or found out some bad things that her mother said about her. Her mother sounds like she's a piece of work, but Lindsay's so different and so so over the top on 10. I just don't know if it was Lindsay's fault or her mother's fault for this disconnect in their relationship. Mark talked about his mother. We learned that she suffers from severe depression. Sometimes she wouldn't get out of bed, even to go to the bathroom. So yeah, she's just. I think maybe the death of her husband sent her into the spiral. So we learned that uh, Lindsay was a hospice nurse, so she's very understanding about the situation. And it looks good for Mark that someone cared and wasn't running away, um, who would stand by his side when he's going through these things with his mother. Very understanding. They feel comfortable with one another. Mark definitely says that when they woke up together the next day. He likes, I think he likes having, her around. Now, one thing Lindsay did, she's a little, Mark was, I guess he's changing his clothes in the bathroom, and Lindsay had already changed her clothes, and she's wearing a little tank top and shorts, what have you, but she comes out and she says it's cold. So she turns the heater up to 80. Mark is sitting down doing like a little confessional, and you notice his sweat on his forehead. Is he putting up with the heater just to, have her around to keep her happy? That was funny. Oh, Lindsay. They met with each other's friends and family. They seem to like Lindsay, Mark's uh, friends. But Lindsay's dad, he told, Lindsay's dad told Mark that Lindsay's tongue can be vicious. Oh, he's saying all these things. Last episode, or I think it was right before the wedding. I might have been the first episode where he asked if he's ever wrangled an alligator. I mean, he was talking about Lindsay. What has this girl done that her dad keeps describing her like someone who needs to be like a wild animal? um, when they were in their room together, in their hotel room together, I noticed they had a suitcase full of goldfish, those little crackers for kids, or not for kids, but those little crackers Funny enough, I went on vacation just recently. I packed one bag of those, but they had a whole suitcase full of them. Um, but Mark seems to be really happy to have Lindsay in his life. Uh, so it seems like it can be a good situation. They seem to be matched pretty well. Uh, Definitely for her that someone would put up with her. Uh, and they seem to like each other. They look good together, I think. I think it could work. I think she needs to tone down her her hyperness and just out there, just too out there. She needs to fall back a little bit. But other than that, they're an okay match. They seem like an okay match. They might be able to work. The last couple is, if you can call them that, is Alyssa and Chris. They show Chris the night of the wedding. He thinks everything that's transpired or what he understands is out of left field. He doesn't understand why Alyssa is acting the way she is. Um, she wanted to talk about it the next day. Whatever this is, he does not know. He's in the dark. They did go into their honeymoon suite together. That was just for her to collect her things and leave. Mark is so confused. I mean, honestly, he has to be de- depressed and frustrated with this situation. But this was the saddest honeymoon or wedding night I've ever seen on Married at First Sight. You know, on the very first season, everybody knows that Jamie was not attracted to Doug. But even then, which was funny and sad, this that situation doesn't compare to this situation. It just seems very oh, it just seems kind of mean, but you can't expect a woman to or anybody to sleep with somebody they don't want to sleep with. Maybe she could explain her emotions a little bit better to this man. Uh, I don't know. It was. We did find out that they did speak to each other around 2:30 in the morning without the cameras, and she told him that they just weren't vibing together. Uh, late we do show her talking to like a confessional. She's talking to the cameras at this point, and she's talking about teeth again. That teeth were important. They were playing that back, how teeth were important. But and she talked about hobbies. Not their hobbies differ. So what? So what? She's just not having a. She says she just wants to have a good experience, for the rest of the way. So that means a no go, but let's enjoy the free trip. Ugh. I think she's truly not attracted to this person. Almost repulsed that he is matched with her. That's my feel on it. And she doesn't know how to express to somebody, you repulse me. I don't want nothing to do with you. I do not find. I think it's little. I don't think they can be friends. Um, I don't think they can be friends because of Alyssa. I don't think she would allow it. She's too closed off and guarded, even for a possible friendship. She's she walks around like someone should be falling at her feet or something. She's not very I don't know, she's not allowing any room to see where this could go. She's very shut off and guarded. Um, Now they meet with each other's family. Alyssa never told his family what was really going on. She kept it PG, surface level, you know, nothing bad said. And Steve, or not Steve, when Chris met with Alyssa's family, a friend and a sister, I'm sorry, a friend and her mother, he told the truth, but he was still nice about it. He said that, she, they don't think they're compatible. Um, it's not going to work out. She just wants to be friends. And the mother, I think she's trying to be nice. She greeted him with a hug when she saw him, and she likes him. And she says she thinks this would be good for her daughter, but, and she's hopeful. Huh. Um, Now, when Alyssa met with Chris's mother, Florine, she thought that they were matched well. And you could see, I don't know, it was the editing, but that's right when Alyssa took a drink. So I guess not to answer. Uh, she met with his friend Rick as well. And she said, he's in real estate and he's very busy. And Alyssa read that as she's going to be second to work to his job. His job comes first and she will be second of importance in his life, and that he has no work-life balance. She's already determined that this man doesn't have a work-life balance. That's because she wants any reason to get out. Maybe in her way, she's trying to be nice, trying to find a way to get out without saying what it really is, and that she is unattracted to him, and that's putting it mildly. Now, I have to say, you know, in watching Chris, I don't know if this is a joke played on this girl, if this guy is not really, you know, um, should be matched with her, or if this is a joke to play on her, because his mannerisms are not the mannerisms that you would see of a typical man married to a woman. And I just don't know if that is something that is off-putting to her. I mean, very off-putting to her. Um, because if that is what they have done to her, that is cruel. That's the only thing I can say on her behalf. Um, she really has a disdain for this man, and I just wonder what it really is. I wonder if it's something like that where she just can't get it out of her head, who she could possibly be matched with, because she's looking for any reason to get away from him. Um, but Mark is going to stay positive for the time being, he says. She wants to enjoy the trip. She, she said she's ready to go on the trip and see the other couples. She didn't mention about spending any time with him. She's just, nah, it's a no-go. She's just doesn't want to, not to spend time, not to have lunch with somebody, you know what I mean? Your husband, she just wants to have nothing to do with them. She said he just rubs her the wrong way. He wanted to do, maybe go, explore the island. She had excuses for that. I don't want to do that. We could go shopping. She's like, no, I go to the beach. I stay on the beach. And he goes, okay, I will be at the beach. She didn't like that he was agreeing to go to the beach. She doesn't like him. There's nothing he can do. He cannot move forward with her at all. No, ma'am. It's just not happening. What did he do to make her not like him this much in a short period of time? That I just wanted I wonder if she would be honest about it. She said, that he could go on the trip and he could do whatever he wants to do. She she was not even considering doing anything with him. They do go to the trip. They get to their room. They have a a conflict. Um, he basically tells her she was never trying. She says she's not comfortable, but she says that she was trying. She doesn't want to stay in a room that she's not comfortable with. And she tapped out, he said, when she was expecting the perfect person and she didn't get it. I wonder if he knows at this point why she tapped out. She says she feels like she was gypped. Not funny, funny, but she was gypped. What is it that makes you say gypped? I just want to know what her true feelings are about this man. He thinks she's lying and anything to blow up. She doesn't want she wants to get away from him because he called her a liar. She sat on the couch and hid behind her hat. So immature. Oh my God. She just looks so, I, oh, this poor person. Now she's on camera, has to react to this man, and she just can't get it together. She just doesn't know how to express how she really truly feels. He believes that she's gaslighting him, and I believe that's true. That's true. She is. Now he doesn't know if he wants to try in this. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. What a mess. Ugh. So when they get to Puerto Rico, there's a group scene. Actually, as they're getting to Puerto Rico, they're getting on their bus, I guess, from the airport to the hotel, and they get in a tizzy. This is Lindsay and Elijah and Katina. Now, Lindsay said something out of pocket to Elijah, or he took it the wrong way, and they had a ride on a different bus. Lindsay and Mark, yeah, had to ride separately on a different bus than the rest of the couples because there was a little bickering, and I guess they felt it was Lindsay's fault. Uh, I didn't really quite understand. It was something about speaking Spanish, and she was, I guess, telling Elijah what to do, and he barked back, and maybe Katina got into it with her too, and barking at Lindsay. Lindsay was crying on the bus, uh, but it might be Lindsay's fault. Uh, Katina was on the bus with everyone saying, "Keep that woman away from me." Uh, it got to that point. Mark was on the bus with Lindsay, and he was consoling her. Um, he was just very, very supportive for her. He was very, very nice. Um, Apparently, um, once they get to the hotel, the group goes outside and they're looking at the grounds. And Mark comes to the group. Everybody came down except Lindsay and Mark, but Mark came down solo to talk to people to find out what was going on and to apologize on behalf of Lindsay. Now, I didn't hear Olajuwon and Katina doing any apology. Um, People were asking, do you need to hear it from her, Lindsay? And Olajuwon said he didn't, that, from Mark was good enough. But Mark did still feel tension, that there's tension with Katina and Lindsay. Mark was a good person, a good sport. He came down and gave Olajuwon a hug. He didn't want any bad blood. It's their honeymoon. He wants them to have a good time. And when he went back to the hotel to talk to Lindsay to let her know what happened, and he was kind of being nice about, to be careful what you say to people, not to cause conflict. I think he was trying to let her know in the nice way, uh, don't act the way you do. Some people don't understand that and bring it down a little bit. Um, So I don't know. It's going to be interesting in the next episode to see how those couples get along, or how Lindsay gets along with Christina and Elijah. Now, all the couples are there, even Alyssa and Chris. And people are noticing that they're not, something's going on with them because they're not standing together. They're not acting like a couple. And I think that's embarrassing Chris, because people can notice that and they kind of stay away because they don't want to interfere in the tension. They don't, I guess they don't even know what to say. Um, so Michael, everybody, they notice something's just not right with them. That's just so embarrassing. Oh, I don't know. Um, so I think that was basically it for this episode. Uh, it was interesting. I did not expect the blow up from Lindsay at all with Elijah. I think they're both hyper people. But that might be triggering for Elijah. He has ADHD. Maybe he can't read the room properly, and and take offense to things too fast without calming down. And Lindsay, she's on 10 all the time. So that's going to be interesting. That will be interesting. I did not expect that. It was a good episode, surprisingly. It was better than the best episode. And I hate to say that it was interesting because of the blowout, but we're just getting a little bit more interactions and seeing a little bit more human behavior, and and putting a spotlight on it. So that's it for now. Hopefully you will please subscribe to this channel and like this video. I would really appreciate it. But that's all I have for now. I gotta get going because I got living to do. Thanks. Bye.